We're going to start in a very brief child's pose. So let your knees go wide, your big toes come together. Good morning. Hi, Amy. Amy, you're just joining. I gave a little spiel about modifying, being okay with modifying. Backing out of the poses, you can feel something different, something shift. So in child's pose, spread your arms forward, anchor your hands. Activate your arms. Spread your lower back if you can. So when I say that, that means like really let your lower back spread into your hips. Connect to your breath. Your breath is everything in this practice. So inhale through your nose to the back of the throat. Exhale deeply and fully through the back of the throat. Try not to open the mouth. Downward facing dog. We're going to take it a little different this morning. So your hands are going to stay probably the width of the mat. Index fingers forward. Separate your feet as wide as the mat this morning. So it's a wider down dog. See if you can feel the backside of your legs. So it's the same length as a normal down dog, but what you're doing is just taking your feet a little wider. Yeah. And you can bend behind your knees if it doesn't feel good for you. Personally, I find a lot deeper stretch through my hamstrings when I take it this way. Breathe your hips up off your shoulders. Lengthen the backside of your body the best that you can. Plug down. Let your head go. And once you work it out and you kind of find the spot that you know you can hold this morning, just be still. Begin to utilize your breath. Inhale through your nose. Smooth exhale. Feel the outer blades of your arms and your triceps begin to grip in. Roll forward with your feet like this to plank. If it doesn't feel right, just keep your feet wide and walk it out a little further. So you're taking a plank position with your feet as wide as the mat this morning. And if you need to modify, your knees just drop. It's the same type of modification, right? Your outer arms firm up and in, and your belly draws in. Activate your abdominal wall. Keep looking forward with your eyes. Hips up and back. Keep your feet the way they are. Downward facing dog. With your feet wide, roll forward to a plank. So wide plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So now we're going to add in. You do what you can. Roll forward plank with your feet wide. Drop your knees directly underneath you. So your knees are wide and your feet are wide. Right. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga with your knees down, wide, and your feet wide. Your neck is neutral. Re-straighten your arms to this type of plank. Hips up and back, downward facing. So we're going to do it a bunch of times. We're going to just try and build some momentum with it. Roll forward to this wide plank. Drop your knees down. Bend your elbows in half. Re-straighten your arms. Lift the knees, hips up and back, downward facing with your feet wide. Go again, roll forward plank. Start to make a connection with your breath. Drop your knees down. Bend your elbows in half. Draw your belly in, keep your neck long. Re-straighten your arms. Hips up and back, downward facing. A few more times. Roll forward plank. Knees come down. Elbows bend right by side body. Re-straighten your arms. Hips up and back, downward facing. Again, roll forward to a wide plank. Drop your knees down. Bend your elbows in half. Re-straighten your arms. Hips up and back, downward facing. Walk your feet back together so they're hips width distance and feel your down dog like this. Then roll forward to traditional plank position. Drop your knees if you need to. Yeah, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, roll forward plank. Drop your knees down if you need to, or keep your legs engaged and strong. Bend your elbows in half. Re-straighten your arms. Hips up and back, downward facing. Good, last time. Roll forward plank, building some heat. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pause. Drag yourself through a nice smooth up dog this morning, or baby cobra. Broaden across the chest. Look up a little with your eyes if you can. Legs are strong. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. Feet can be a little bit separated. Long spine on the inhale. Hands can also rest on your shins if something's not right. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So I'm going to just walk you through a few of broken down sun A's. This is good to know. If you don't feel like flowing as much, you can always just stand at the top of the mat and do this. Arms reach up. Dive over bent knees. Bend your knees a lot. Once you get to the floor, come to the fingertips, long spine. Create some space for yourself. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Try it again. Arms reach up, anchor. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine, or hands just press into the shins. Exhale, fold again. Root to rise, come all the way up. There's always a micro bend in your knees, guys. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Connection. Arms reach up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Take 2 big steps to get you back to your version of plank or right to a down dog. Good. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. Drag yourself through a nice, smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Allow yourself to just be, right? Like sometimes we get into the habit of just wanting the next thing, like the next movement, the next pose. Just be here. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top of the mat. It's up to you how you want to move in this practice. Long spine at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Hands by side body, stand tall. So together again, arms reach up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, plant your palms. You can step, you can float through a vinyasa. It's up to you. I'm not in place to be jumping right now. Upward facing dog, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just one more. Arms reach up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step, or float through your vinyasa. Right, so your vinyasa may just be a push-up and then a down dog. It may just be a down dog. It could be the whole shebang. When you get to your downward facing dog, roll forward to plank. Lean onto your right hand for Vashisthasana side plank, just very basic. I'm gonna slide my left foot in front and anchor this morning, and then the left arm up. If something's going on and you need to drop to your forearm, that's another option, or bring your knee down, such as this. Right. Grip the outer arms in. Lift from your bottom hip and then look up. Lift a little higher, you got it. Look down, plank position, pause. Lean onto the left hand. Same thing goes. Left hand comes out a little forward. My right leg, I'm gonna use it really strong just to anchor. Lift from the side body and look up. And if you need to drop your knee comes, relatively underneath you to create that balance and support for your body. Lift from your bottom hip. Look up with your eyes. Connect to your breath. Look down, take both hands to the floor, plank position, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, look in between your hands and hop your feet all the way through and lay down. Yeah, lay down on your backs. Make your legs wide like this. So there's 2 ways to take it. Just lay down for a second. The legs can be wide and they're gonna flex strong, or your knees can be bent in half if something's going on in your lower back and you can work from here. So legs go strong, feet flex strong. Arms are gonna reach up over the top of the head. You're gonna draw the inhale breath in. You're gonna flex the feet and keep the lower half of the body down. You're gonna reach your upper belly and your torso up and flex your palms. So it's gonna look like this. Keep the neck neutral, look towards the sky. So it's kind of like a Pilates roll up. The legs are grounding you. They're not lifting. The feet are flexed and you're drawing your arms forward. Good. Reach the arms back. Let it go. Pull yourself up, flex your palms. Keep your neck neutral. Try and really scoop out your belly. Arms reach back, connect your breath. Reach your arms forward, flex the palms. Arms reach back. Good. Arms reach forward, flex. Draw your knees around the outsides of your arms and flex your feet. So it's like a crow. Arms reach back. Feet are going to hover now if they can. Arms reach forward, hovering crow on your back. Flex. Flex your feet, flex your palms, and take your knees around your outside of your triceps. Do it slow. Arms reach back. For more intensity, you hover. Arms reach forward, legs come up. You got it. Again, arms reach back. Legs and arms pull forward, crow. Keep going. Arms reach back. Connect to your breath. Arms reach forward. 2 more after this. Good. Arms reach back, hover. Arms reach forward, legs hover. 1 more. Arms reach back, breathe. Exhale the breath, bring it forward. Keep reaching with your arms and rock and roll up to squat pose. It's not going to be so pretty. Squat. You need to use your hands, you do that. Come up to the squat malasana. Feet go wide. So the heels are turned in and the toes turned out. Yeah, and if you're really lifted, you can always slide a block underneath your bum and sit on the block, because the goal is to have the spine very long. Back of your triceps press against the inside of your legs. Hands come to a prayer. Just look forward. Collect yourself. You got it. Jody, it looks good. Lengthen your tailbone down. Good. Start to pull yourself up. Bring your feet forward. So now they're parallel to the front edge of your mat. And you're kind of like in this wider squat, like a bear squat. Your arms are now resting on the tops of the thighs and your hands are in a prayer forward. You got it. Move the weight into your heels. So it's like a deep squat. Look forward. Little arch of your back, like a little up dog. Yeah. Let your thigh bone slide back and towards the hips, so your weight moves into your heels. Bring your hands to a prayer. Hover your hands. Keep grounding yourself. Keep sticking your butt back. Yeah. Shoot up to stand, reach your arms up, drag your hands to prayer. Walk your feet together at the top of the mat. Stand for a second and just feel your body. I know for me that activated my core. That was hopefully the goal. Slide the arms up, sit into a chair pose. My least favorite posture, chair pose. Yeah. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through a vinyasa this morning. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward into a low lunge. Integrate your legs and come up crescent lunge. Yep. These look good. Hands to frame your front foot. So you're going to ground your hands, hug your right knee, and thread your right leg back and through to a 3-legged down dog. It looks like this. Flex the foot. Make sure the toes are flexed towards the ground and you're not opening your hip this morning. Pull your left hip back a lot. Strong. Let your head go. Firm up the sides of your arms. Roll forward to plank. Drag the right knee towards the navel and slide your right foot forward and through. Turn your back foot strong and now come up warrior 1. It's a little bit of a different flow this morning. Come up warrior 1. When you get up to warrior 1, sometimes you feel like you have a little bit more space to slide your right foot forward. You want to bend deep into the front leg, but more importantly, your back leg is strong. Spin the left ribs forward, Reach up with the sides of your arms. Look up a little with your eyes. Ground yourself. Bring it to the floor, Vinyasa, or you move right to a downward facing dog, whatever you feel you need. Once you get to your downward facing dog, land your left foot forward. Low lunge into crescent lunge, high lunge. Bring it up. Yep. Your knee is always over your ankle so you can track. Hands to frame your front foot. Do this slow. Press through your hands. Hug the knee a little bit in and then slide it up and back to a three-legged down dog. So I don't want you to flail your body parts. Really stay engaged. Your right hip hugs in. Your left thigh activates. You flex your left foot strong. You press through the ground. Roll forward to a plank, hugging the knee to the navel, and then sliding your left foot forward and through. Turn your back foot strong. Come up, warrior one. Take a second to really set it up. Spin the right ribs forward. Activate the blade of your back right foot. You're going to get a lot of connection from there. Hands to frame your front foot. Chaturanga or right to a dog. When you arrive in downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Good. We'll put it all together. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weight in your heels. Press to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Arms stretched straight up towards the sky. Sit again into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let it go. Long spine to prepare, hands to touch something. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog is smooth. It shouldn't be painful. It's a back bend. Up and back, hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, glide your right foot forward into a crescent lunge. We'll do it together so you know what's up. Kate, take your right foot to the right about 2 more inches and you're gonna have a little more stability this morning. Hands come to frame your front foot. You're gonna thread your right leg, back and through slowly to a 3-legged down dog, but you're not gonna open your hips. You're gonna keep everything neutral. Flex the foot strong. Feel the sides of your body hug in. These look great. Come forward to plank, hugging your right knee to your navel. Look forward with your eyes and land your right foot forward and through. Now warrior one. Set up your back foot so it's on a strong angle and bring it up. You got it. Bring it back down to the floor through your vinyasa or right to your downward facing dog. You got it. So maybe you need to add an extra push-up. Maybe you feel like, I don't feel like doing that much. From your down dog, land your left foot forward. Low lunge into crescent lunge. Set up the feet. Don't be in a rush. So it's a little more flowy. We're not moving too fast. Bring your hands back down to the floor. Activate from here and then thread your left leg back and through to a 3-legged down dog. Do it slow so you can feel your core working. Flex the foot really strong. It's going to help. And then roll forward to a plank. Hug the knee softly in towards the chest. Glide the left foot forward and through. Turn the back foot strong. Get the stability and then come up, warrior one on the left side. It's a pretty long stance. Bring it back down to the floor, vinyasa or skip altogether. Meet me in a downward facing dog. We will regroup. Take a deep breath in. Take a full exhale breath out. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet through. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit into your version of chair that works for you this morning. Press up to a standing position. Drag the hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Arms slide up. Sit again into chair. Move the weight into your heels. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Don't be in a rush. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward, activate your legs, come up crescent lunge. Come up nice and slow. Hands come back down to the floor. The right leg threads back and through that three-legged down dog. Yeah. Flex the foot. Roll forward to a plank, hug the knee to the navel, land the right foot forward and through, turn the back foot strong, anchor and come up warrior one. So you don't want to bypass the muscles. You want to move slow enough that you feel. Obviously, you don't want to fall asleep in the poses. Happy medium, hands down, vinyasa or not. When you get to your down dog, step your left foot forward. Everyone's going to be slightly different. That's okay. Crescent lunge. You got it. Hands come down. Activate slow and thread the leg back and through. Three-legged down dog. Flex the foot. Come forward through your plank. Hug the left knee in. Land the left foot forward and through. Turn the back foot strong. Warrior one. Good. Bring it back down to the floor. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Your legs are strong. You press through the tops of the feet. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Good. From your down dog, slide your right foot smack in between your hands. Let's do this together and do it slow. Turn the back foot strong. Okay, so now you're heel to heel or heel to arch. Your feet are set up for warrior two, but don't come up. Rest your right arm on the top of your right thigh, such as this. Slide the left arm up or wrap it forward. Either way works. If your shoulder feels all like kind of junked up, your hand can always be on your hip as an alternative. Really focus on the lower half of your body this morning. Grip your right hip firm underneath you. Turn your bottom ribs open and use the strength of your left leg. Yeah, really press to that left foot. Drive your feet into the mat. Good, circle your left arm in front of your face if you can. Pull up warrior two. You may need to widen your stance a little. Warrior two, yeah. Lengthen your tailbone like that squat. Broaden across your upper torso. Anchor your feet, breathe. Good. Flip the right palm, reverse your warrior. This is a soft movement. It's not a jam back in your lower back. Straighten the right leg 3/4 of the way. Yeah. Rebend the front thigh slow. Circle the hands to the floor, vinyasa. So just a little tweaks this morning. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, step your left foot forward. So do it slow so you can follow along. Turn the back foot strong. Bump your left forearm on the top of your left thigh so you're not coming up. Grip your hip underneath you. Yes, so you're working from the ground. Right arm stretches straight up or it can wrap forward. Your shoulder is super soft. Take a moment to just settle in. Use the strength of your right foot. Press firm. There's a hugging in of that left hip glute. There's a turning of your left ribs. Circle the right arm in front of the face. Pull back up, warrior two. You may need to widen your stance. Lengthen the tailbone, torso nice and open. Flip the left palm, reverse the warrior. Straighten the left leg 3/4 of the way. Back leg strong. Rebend the left thigh. Circle the hands to frame the front foot. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. With excitement and joy, right foot steps through. Turn the back foot, don't come up. Rest the right arm on the thigh. Slide the left arm up or up and forward. Circle the arm in front of the face. Pull yourself up to a warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Then straighten the front leg, not all the way, about halfway to 3/4 of the way. The hand slides down a little further. Rebend the front thigh. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Vinyasa or dog. Keep moving, guys. Left foot forward, back foot turns, don't come up. Bump your arm on the top of the thigh, slide the right arm up or up and forward. The strength of your back leg is very grounding. Circle the arm in front of the face without too much bounce, warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. It's a little movement. Straighten the left leg 3/4 of the way. Rebend the front thigh. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, turn the back foot strong. You have a choice now. Your arm can go back the way we just did it, or your hand could go to the outside of your foot for a variation. I like a block because otherwise I just dump right down. There's a gripping in and a turning of your bottom ribs. Left arm slides up or comes up and forward. If your arm is like in front of your face, this is a good indication that maybe you've gone too far. You got it. And then just settle in right here. Jody, slide your block back an inch. Yes. Yep. And then when you sit into your thigh bone, not into your knee. Yeah, there's a difference. Make the connection with the outer part of your leg to the inside of your arm. These look really good, guys. Stay with the movement, just breathe. Good, circle the arm in front of the face. Pull up warrior two. Warrior two. Settle in for a few breaths. Take your left ribs, Amy, take them back towards the couch and your right ribs towards the window. Yes. So you want your whole torso smack down the center of your body. Perfect. And then settle in. Close your eyes and hold yourself up. Turn up the inner part of your thigh to the outside of your baby toe so your knee stays safe. Activate your left leg. Good, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. So let your left hand just slide down. Straighten your right leg 3/4 of the way. Rebend the thigh. Listen carefully, circle the hands to frame your front foot. Come to a low lunge with your back heel lifted. Plant your hands around the outside of your right foot. You got it. Take your right knee to the outside of your right tricep and pause. Mine's gonna look like this today. That's about as much as I can do. If you wanna work on an ekapada, you'll bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga. If you don't wanna work on an ekapada, you're just gonna hold plank with your right knee somewhere towards the outside of your right tricep, or you can always just go to a dog. Find your way to a downward facing dog. Nice work. If it worked out for you, great. If it didn't, just something to work towards. From your down dog, slide your left foot forward and through. Turn your back foot strong. Reach for a block or rest your arm on the top of the thigh for your A variations. You're working from the ground up this morning, which creates a different element. So you're in this low version and your hand comes to the outside of your foot. Your right arm can wrap straight up or it can come up and forward. What really helps is if your back foot is turned enough that the thigh bone can be in this rotation. Grip the outer hip underneath you, turn the bottom ribs, and then look up with your eyes. Make sure there's a connection to the outside of your left leg, to the inside of your left arm. Yeah, so if it's pulling apart, you're probably going into an internal rotation. Stay with your breath. Good. Circle the right arm in front of the face without too much bounce. Pull yourself up, warrior two. Widen your stance if you need to. Remember your torso, straight up and down. And listen, if you don't have the stamina to hold your arms up, you just drop your arms. You take a breath or two, get yourself together, and you come back. You try it again. Drive the feet into the mat, lengthen your tailbone, and then let yourself check out in a sense that you can just close your eyes. Close your eyes and breathe. Blink your eyes open, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Make it a soft movement. Straighten the left leg 3/4 of the way. So you're in this reverse Trikonasana. Rebend the front thigh. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Let your right heel peel. Plant your palms around the outside of your left foot and the inside of your left foot. From here, left knee towards left tricep for a setup for Ekapada. Yes, the left knee, you got it, Jody. And don't feel like you need to jam your knee all the way over. Bend your elbows a little bit or just hold. You got it, Kate. Step back through a vinyasa or downward facing dog. Wherever you are is fine. Downward facing dog. Exhale all your breath out. You're doing great. From your downward facing dog, make sure there's a block at the top of your mat, okay? Step your right foot forward and through. You're gonna come right to a half moon, okay? We actually set up for it already. So right to a half moon. So your right foot stays forward and grounded, your hip hugs in. Set up your block and let yourself just kind of float up. I'm conveniently near the wall. If I need to lean against it, I will. Yeah, stack yourself up right here, half moon pose. Make sure your right foot stays forward, your hip is hugging in. If you want to add any version that works for you, like a Chopasana, working on your balance, maybe lifting your bottom hand up, this is the place to kind of play. And if you fall, that's just, it's a good sign. It's a sign that you're playing your edge. Breathe into the sides of your body. Look up if you can with your eyes. Little micro bend behind your right knee, everybody. Find your way back to a regular half moon, wherever you are, regular half moon. The transition can be a little tricky, so take it slow and move your block with you. We're stepping back to triangle Trikonasana. So just take a giant step back, do it slow. If you need your block, you bring it with you, or you slide your hand up the front of your shin. Back leg strong. Look up with your eyes. There's a lift of your side body, so you're not dumping into your lower back. There's a gripping of your inner and outer thighs. And a feeling like that you're leaning back a little bit, but not going into your lower back. Soften your shoulders like side plank arms. Stay with it. Two more breaths. So look down, place the hands on the instep of your foot. So it's gonna look like this. Yeah, so my hands are gonna come down. You can even place your hands on a block, but they're on the instep of the foot. So it's a little bit of a different hamstring release, and then fold. So you're taking your body, it's kind of like a triangle with a humble warrior. Think of it that way. The front leg may need to bend a little bit or a lot. The back leg is staying in the same position and you're anchoring it and you're just dropping your head down. Keep gripping your right hip in so you don't pop it out. Yes. Good. Frame out your front foot. Take your back foot and pivot it all the way forward. So now your feet are set up like a traditional version of Parsvo. Take your hands to your hips, come halfway up, come the rest of the way up. So you're going to set yourself up right here for twisting triangle. Walk your right foot a little to the right. Work out your stance. It's about 3 to 4 feet, depending on your height. Right hand on hip, left arm extends up. Back foot is pretty much turned forward. Yeah. Inhale the breath, come halfway down, then come the rest of the way. If you have a block, place it to the instep of your foot. If you don't, hand can just rest somewhere on your shin. Right hand on the flat part of your back as you look right, and then right arm extends up if you have that range. Definitely if the shoulders are tight, you want to utilize a block. And then your top arm may not go. Feel like someone's got you by your hips. They're moving them back. Yeah, and then while you move your hips back, your whole spine moves forward and you're able to twist. Stack the two shoulders and then look up. And then you find a spot in the posture that you could maintain. And you can maintain it with a supported breath. So back out if it's too much. Twist a little deeper. Look down, take both hands to the floor, step through a vinyasa, make it feel good, kind of clean it up. And then when you get to your down dog, hips up and back. Take a deep breath in, take a full breath out. From your down dog, step your left foot all the way forward and through. So you're just in a low lunge and set up for your version of half moon. Once again, if you need to go towards the wall, I'll actually demonstrate that. It's good to know how to do it. You lean right up. If you're on a balcony, please don't do this. So I'm actually using the wall to support the posture. My whole body's going into it. And I can really make sure that my hip is the height of my body. My left foot stays forward. My left leg is gripping underneath me like Tadasana. And then I'm able to look up. Add in what you need here. If you want to create a little bit of a dimension of balance, the bottom hand can get a little lighter. The top leg can bend and you can reach for a Chopasana. Side body is long. Stay with it. If you fall, you just come back again. You try it again. Regular half moon if you added in something fancy. Look down, move slow. You're going to step back to your triangle pose. Triangle pose. Hand on your shin or to a block to the outside of your calf. Yeah. Back leg strong. Front leg is a micro bend. Just reminding you, never want to jam back, especially if your knees or hamstrings are sensitive. Side body long. Look up. How can you lighten the load here? Make sure all the weight's not resting on your shoulder or your hand is like dumping down into your shin of the block. Stay with it. A few more breaths. Feel your legs working strong. Feel your obliques engaging. Look down. Take both hands to the instep of your left leg. You kind of want to feel like your left leg and your left tricep kind of hug in. And then find a position that you can creep. Your hands go down. Your back leg stays at its open angle and you fold. A little bit of a different release. We always do the same thing. We're always going to have the similar results. So trying to change it up subtly. Let the head go. When you get to these types of poses, let your body just fold and let your breath follow with it. Take your hands, walk them around your left foot, pick up your back foot, guys, and turn it all the way forward. So you're going to set your feet up. Bring your hands to your hips, come halfway up, come the rest of the way up. And just rearrange the feet if you feel like you need a little tweak. Left hand on your hip, right arm extends up. Inhale that breath, come halfway down, come the rest of the way down. So I automatically, it's like when your car senses that there's a car coming in front of it, I automatically bend my front leg to just protect it. Yeah, hand comes to the flat part, you check in here. You don't just assume, and then you extend the top arm up, then look up. We assume nothing when we get to these poses. We just assume that maybe we can do it. Hips move back, spine moves forward, and then you have that openness to twist. Stay with it. Few more breaths. Take advantage. Look down. Take both hands to frame your front foot. Walk your left foot to the center. Spring your right foot forward. Long spine on the inhale, bend your knees as much as you need. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms and stand still. Standing on your left leg, bend your right knee in. I'm just turning towards you, and I'm going to show the modified version this morning, okay? Hands come to prayer. You're going to either take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, or the full version will be to reach down for a dancing Shiva and grab the outer blade of your foot. The right arm can reach back. Looks like this. And just going to really work on not swaying back, not swaying forward, and staying very upright. And you're kind of splitting the mat with your back arm. If you're grabbing your foot, you're kicking your leg forward and through, make sure you're not going into your low back. And the leg that's standing is strong and straight, but the leg that's moving forward can have as much bend to it as you need. Stay with it. Good. Pull around to center. Bring your arms straight up. Keep the lift of the leg either at a 90-degree angle like I'm showing, or the leg can be straight forward. Draw the lower belly in. There's a coiling of your ribs. Keep your arms up. Land your right foot next to your left. Sit into a chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Hook the elbow and twist to the right. Keep your feet, your knees, your shins, your thighs, everything lined up nicely. Yeah. And then move your weight back into your heels. And like you just did in twisting triangle, very similar. The weight moves back and then your spine can move forward and you can twist. Open up your arms, maybe look up. Don't get ahead of yourself. Keep the legs really strong. Pull around to your chair. Look forward with your eyes. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer and stand for a moment. Move the weight onto your right leg now. Drag the left leg up into a 90-degree angle. Grab the outside of your thigh with your hand or reach down and grab your foot. So either way works. Hand can be on your hip to start. Then from here, begin to take your version of twist. So the arm reaches back. The biggest thing with this pose is we have a tendency to like kind of lean into it. We want to not lean into it the wrong way. Everything is very lifted and engaged, and you're protecting your lower spine. So I'd rather you be where I'm showing than be in a place that's going to create a situation. If you're kicking your leg forward and through, remind yourself that your whole body isn't going forward. You're upright. You look good. Stay with it. Pull around to center. Keep the leg lifted. Bring your arms up, almost like you're holding a block in between your hands. The leg that's lifted, it could be at 90 degrees or it could be straight forward if you want more intensity. Keep the lift. Keep coiling your belly in. Lower the feet. Sit into chair. One more time. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale that breath. Take it to the left. Twist. Watch the right side of your body. Yes. So keep moving your thighs back, your weight in your heels. And don't be afraid to get in there. Yeah. Open up your arms if you want a little more. Or maybe you're just fine where you are. Nice, Nancy. Move that weight back. Stay with it. Keep the strength in the lower half of the body. Pull around to your chair. It could be a baby chair. It could be a deep chair. You decide. In your chair pose, really sit and then fold. Fold over your legs. So from here, we're going to set up for crow because we did that prep before. So in crow pose, keep your feet together. Come all the way down and just do this. This is the best way to learn crow, okay? Your knees are going to separate. Your hands will come out in front of you like you did on your back. The same action. Now, crow, you may keep your feet together. You must keep your feet together, actually. We don't want to separate them. Rock your weight forward. Hug your hips under you, kind of like over you, but under you at the same time. And just pause here. Look forward. Hold. This could be where you stay for a very long time. And that's okay because you're activating and you're engaging. Keep looking forward. You want to create a round in your spine. Keep your feet together and now bend your elbows in half. Squat Malasana is always a great alternative. Yep. If you can lift one foot and then maybe lift the other foot, you give it a whirl. Yeah. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing. If it didn't work out, you kind of laugh it off and you just move on, and it's okay. Downward facing dog. If you're in squat, just step back when you're ready. From your downward facing dog, last time today, land your right foot forward, crescent lunge. Hands come to prayer. Inhale that breath, hook the elbow, take it to the right. Crescent twist, yeah. Back knee can drop if you need a little extra TLC this morning. Yeah, hook the elbow in there and twist open. Another alternative is to rest your palm on the instep of your foot or a block and extend the right arm up, more of a basic easy twist. Squeeze the inner and outer thighs together. Lean back a little bit, but try not to look back because that has a tendency of rounding us. Just look sideways or look up. Get in there, stay with it. Another big breath in. On the exhale breath, bring both hands to the floor. If your knee is down, just activate the leg. So like we did earlier today, drag the knee in towards the navel and extend the right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. If you would like to bend your knee and open up your hip, if your lower back is sensitive, I don't recommend doing this. I would just stay very squared off like I'm demonstrating. Yeah. If your lower back is okay with this, you can open up your hip a little, but really ground and keep your pelvis as neutral as you can. Look forward with your eyes, swing your right leg forward and through half pigeon. Yeah. And if this does not feel good in your body, by all means, you just flip around onto your back and you take ankle to knee. This is a great place to be. Spread your lower back down. See how everyone's doing. Half pigeon. You got it. Dara, you should tell her if she's going to watch, she should participate. I get the same thing when I take class too. Little spectators. Just checking in, guys. Make sure your left thigh is down and the top of your left foot is down if you're comfortable with this. If you're not, you can curl your toes into the mat and then fold. Fold a little deeper. A few more breaths. Good. Use the strength of your body. Come up. Lean onto your right side. Swing your left leg forward, kind of into a separate leg stretching here. It's like a tree with your legs down. Right hand comes behind you at the base of your spine. Press up and back for sail pose. Left leg strong. See if you can press the whole top of your the whole base of your left foot down. And then the left arm reaches up and back. Make sure your right hand is facing the back of your mat. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath lower down. When you come down, swing your right knee straight forward and wrap your left foot around for a seated spine twist. This is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. Left hand comes behind you. Hook the elbow in or give the knee a squeeze. Second alternative is extend your right leg straight forward, such as this. And just give the leg a squeeze. Hand stays close to the base of the spine so you can look over your shoulder. Create length always first and then twist. Good. Come back through center. Stay with me, guys. Listen carefully. You're going to rock your weight forward, just like this, onto your hands and knees, and slide your left knee on top of your right. Yep. So you're getting a tabletop with your left knee, your left thigh in front of your right thigh. Separate your feet as wide as they're going to go, And then sit back for Goma seat. Now, if you get here and you can't sit, reach for your block or a pillow and sit on that. I'll turn forward so you can also see this angle. So think of your legs crossed, and then Mark, this is a good one for you. And then sit up really tall. You want about equidistant space between your hips and your heels and stay really upright. If you would like to add the arm variation in, you can go right elbow up, go opposite of what the legs are crossed for Gomukhasana arms. Sit up really tall. Inhale the breath. If you want to fold, you're welcome to do so. About 5 or 6 breaths right here, guys. Stay. Hands can also just be in a prayer, or they could be knuckled behind your back to open a broadening across your upper chest. What we want is to create an openness. Yeah, a strap is great. To come out nice and slow, let any arm variations go. Move any blocks out of your way. Rock your weight forward kind of into a tabletop. So your hands come down. Swing the left leg back into tabletop position and then press back downward facing dog. When you get to your down dog, one last vinyasa if you'd like to take it. When you get to your down dog, the last time, step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Sweep your arms up. Hands drag to a prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow, take it to the left. I'm going to go ahead and drop my right knee down today. You decide what you want. Back leg's going to stay strong. It's like a plank. Knee comes down. You notice it's on an angle, which is great. I'm not jabbing my knee into the floor. Twist open. Open up your arms if you want a little more. There's a leaning back, a scissoring of your inner and outer thighs, a gripping of your left hip in, and then looking sideways or up. Three more breaths. Look down, take both hands to the floor, activate your back leg. If it's dropped, plant your hands, thread your left leg back and through, three-legged down dog. Keep the hips and the pelvis really neutral. Bend your leg in half. This could be where you stay. Activate your hands and your right leg strong, and then maybe open your hip a little if that feels good to you. Let your head just be. Square the hips off, look forward, land your left knee behind your left wrist for half pigeon on the left side. Good. Go spin onto your back if you need that, and then fold. Right leg strong onto the floor, top of the right foot is grounded, or you can curl your toes. Ideally, we want to just neutralize our body so not all the weight is rolling to one side. Use the strength of your body to come up nice and slow. Lean onto the left side, swing your right leg around, make a tree with your legs seated. Left hand comes behind you with the fingers facing the back of the mat. Inhale the breath, exhale, lift up, straight right leg, foot pressing down if you can, right arm reaching up and back. Called sail pose. Lift your hip points towards the sky, look up with your eyes. Lower yourself down. Spin your left knee straight forward. Make sure you're sitting on both butt cheeks. Right foot comes around. Right hand behind you. Hook the elbow or give the leg a squeeze. Seated spine twist. Inhale the breath, lengthen up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder and twist. Come back through center. Neutralize your hips forward. Rock your weight forward like you're going into a tabletop position, but your legs are crossed. So your right thigh is over your left thigh, your feet split apart, and then move your seat back and come to a seated position. You can sit on a block. Good. I'll spin towards you. See how you're doing. Add in any arm variations that you need this morning. Maybe you want to knuckle behind your back. This is great because the idea is just to open up your collarbone and your chest and your throat. If you're going to go Gomukhasana, go with your left arm up and reach behind you and grab behind like this. A strap would be great. I didn't bring mine upstairs. And then if you cut this Goma arms, you want to kind of lean the back of your head into the left arm up towards the sky. If you feel like your throat or your chest is collapsing in, back out. We definitely don't want to stop our breathing in this pose, especially near the end of the practice. Drop any arm variations that you have. To get out of the pose, move any blocks out of the way, rock your weight forward. Plant your hands, and then see if you can unthread into a tabletop position. Downward facing dog, one last time. Look in between your hands, hop your feet all the way through, lay down on your backs. We're gonna finish right here with some version of a supported shoulder stand. So if you have a block or a wall nearby, that's great. If you really want to go up into a headstand and you know you can do that, or a forearm stand, you're welcome to do so. I'm going to show you how to get in. Set up like you're going to bridge, lift your hips up, use your block, slide at any level that works underneath your lower back. Interlace your hands around the block. Then from here, once you've got yourself stabilized, the right leg's going to lift up and then the left leg's going to lift up. The supported shoulder stand is where we're going today, or to the wall, legs up the wall. The higher you go with the block, the more lactic acid you're going to flush. Let your eyes just shut. Bend your legs in half. Take your feet flat to the floor. Once the feet get down, then remove the block from underneath you. Let your feet go wide and your knees come together. Your feet go the width of the mat and they're bent. And the knees come together. So you're creating a little mountain with your legs. Yeah. And then from here, slide the legs out, let them go wide and set up for Savasana, complete rest. Close your eyes, separate your hands and your feet nice and wide, and exhale all the breath out. Let it go. Draw in a full deep breath. At the top of the breath, see if you can hold it for a second. And then exhale everything out. Move slow in your body, or maybe you just choose to stay down this morning. Arms reach up over the top of the head. Really reach big through your fingertips and your toes. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. And rock yourself up in your own way to a seated position. And when you come up and you sit up nice and tall, drop in for a second. New body, new mind this morning. Hands come to a prayer. Bow your head with gratitude. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. As always, guys, awesome practice. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you soon. Stay warm if you're here in New Jersey, and have a great weekend.